Net fans never really had a reason to watch the NBA draft lottery recently. The last appearance for the Nets franchise in the lottery was way back in 2000, where we managed to move up from the 7th seed to the 1st to draft Kenyon Martin. This year is a little bit of a different story. Currently we hold a 1.1% chance of entering the Michael Beasley sweepstakes. June 26, 2008 is the date set for the NBA draft. Who do I want the Nets to pick? Well, I have an interest in Eric Gordon, Anthony Randolph, Kevin Love, and Gallo. Still can't pronounce his first and last name, so don't shoot me. There's one guy I really want the Nets to just stay away from, and that's DeAndre Jordan. He's a high-risk, high-reward player. His comparisons, best case scenario is Andrew Bynum. Worst case scenario is Patrick O'Brien. Big difference there. Was this guy really just a one-year wonder? Does anybody else remember the dunk on Samuel Dallenberg back in the 06-07 season? I sure as hell do. Now, I don't want to see the Nets resign this guy unless he's coming on the cheap. Now, anything more than $3 million is overspending for the guy. So friggin' inconsistent. Vince is Vince. Consistency was a huge issue with Vince this season. Over the course of the 82 games, Vince was subpar. Now let me break it down. The first 60 games, Vince was more of a passive player. And when you have a player like Jason Kidd on the roster, you don't gotta be passive. Now the last 22 games or so, Vince, he played out of his damn mind. He was up there in the ranks with all the other elite players in my books. Now Vince doesn't have that bad of a contract right now, but later on down the road when we're paying him $18 million, it's got me a little scared. This guy bleeds this franchise. I mean, our fan base sucks. I mean, let's be honest. We play in a dump hole of an arena with an impending move on the horizon. And, you know, what is there to say about him? But RJ, he's not perfect. His defense has really stepped down a notch this season. Despite having a career year, finishing 9th offensively in the league, RJ will probably be the most expendable player on the roster just due to his trade value. I mean, he really turned a lot of heads this season. I mean, a lot of people pegged him as an injury-plagued player, but, you know, he's changed some minds. RJ, I mean, to put it in perspective, here's a nerdy reference for you. RJ is Robin. He needs a Batman to really, you know, make it work. Here's another nerdy reference for you. Do you want to guess who Two-Face was this season? Yeah. When he suffered an ACL injury back in December of 06, you should have really, you know, took the time off and shouldn't have rushed back, because when he came back and started the regular season, wasn't really feeling it. Wasn't really the Nenad Krstic we all knew and loved. Now, I would love to see Nenad Krstic resign, but if it's costing a hefty dollar, I'd want nothing to do with it. Now, what I personally think will happen is he's going to play for the qualifying offer, but if someone is willing to give him, you know, more money than what he's worth right now, then I wouldn't touch it. And since Isaiah Thomas doesn't have a job right now, I'm not worried. Extremely underpaid. Have you seen his contract? Making $7 million at the age of 25, increasing to roughly $9.9 million at the age of 29. He had some great games for us. 22-15, 16-13, and 19-12. The numbers just don't lie. No. No. Hell no. No. And no. It's like a friggin' Rolodex of bad signings by Rod Thorne. Jamal McGlure signed last offseason. Look how that turned out for us. I mean, this year Rod Thorne really needs to go into the free agency season doing his homework. I mean, if I have to see another friggin' bad signing, I'm jumping out the window right now. I mean, okay. The Nets, what they need is a shooter. We finished 25th in field goal percentage and 24th in three-point shooting. I mean, what more do you need? We need a shooter. That was our biggest problem. Another one of our problems, we need a tough post defender. Someone who's just going to bang bodies, you know, do the job. Because, I mean, Nenad, Krstic, Josh Boone, and Sean Williams, they're just, you know, then, ugh. This LeBron James, Jay-Z versus Deshawn Stevenson Soldier Boy feud, it's getting out of hand. Have you heard the new track laid out by Jay-Z dissing the two? Well, here it is.
Ask my nigga LeBron. It's so big we ain't gotta respond. When you talking to a don, please have respect like you talking to your mom. We let the money do the talking. As you see, we be talking rather often. The Rock Boys in the building of the 150 million, don't it sound